Yes, what's going on?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. How is everything? Yeah, all good. Yeah.
All good. Just back in the gym now. Fucking just training my ass off, making up for the mistakes I made in that fight camp.
Yeah, yeah. Is it? Yeah. So
Yeah, that's it.
obviously that was on Fight Island, weren't it? That your fight.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you? Was it a good experience on Fight Island, or?
Do you know what? It was an amazing place and everything, but that was the first time in my life I've ever missed weight, and it really affected me in the fights. You know,
Yeah.
anyone that's ever seen me fight, you know, they know that wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I always used to think, I'll say this when the interview starts as well, I always used to think that fucking, Joe, people go, oh, the weight could kill me. I'd be like, yeah, you little bitch, shut your head out, you're lying. But like, now I know what it feels like, Joe, what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it is difficult, isn't it? So, yeah, like you say, you lost that fight against Jared Gordon. I think it was on July 15th, and you missed weight by 3 pounds, 1.5 kgs. And just explain to me, like, what was it like cutting weight in that environment? Because it wasn't a normal setup, was it?
Yeah, well, it wasn't so, like, I think when you're cutting weight, you normally go from the Monday, like the week before, you normally day in, day out, losing that set amount. So when you went in there, we were quarantining for 4 days. In the first 2 or 3 days, it was just hotel food. It wasn't like in London, it was just hotel food. That's all you could get. And so you're literally eating hotel food and then sitting on your bed. So you're not burning anything at all. So I was a lot heavier. Remember, we quarantined for 4 days. Apart from that though, it was pretty much that. Like, I think that's why that was the most I ever lost. I think I lost 7 kg in 14 hours, and then the last 1.5 kg, it just wouldn't come off me. The last hour we done in the sauna, I only lost 200 grams. Do you know what I mean? It was pretty heavy. Not. It just basically said "fuck you."
Yeah. Yeah, obviously it's difficult as well because I've seen the pictures of like the little tiny sauna you get, the little portable sauna, which is really, I mean, it gets you hot, but it doesn't really do as much as you normally could in a normal. So you know what I mean?
Well, you know, normal saunas, they're quite dry. That's a sauna that uses steam. Okay. So I just didn't like it. It mentally fucked me because the minute you get in there, you're soaking, but that might not be your sweat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just the steam around you.
Yeah, exactly. And not just that, it's not nice fucking being in the heat constantly anyway. And then, you know, cutting weight by fucking, you haven't drank for how long, going in a room with the aircon off and with the front there, the balcony door open, and
it must be torture. Yeah. So going into the fight, how was you feeling? Because obviously you spoke about the weight cut. Did you feel it was affecting you before you went into the fight? Was it during the fight that it started to affect you?
Well, you know what? I actually felt obviously the weight cut was hell, and then after I started to rehydrate and stuff, I felt good. Do you know what I mean? I felt great, and literally the night of the fight, obviously because you need to wake up, I never got much sleep the night of the weigh-in because obviously you're cutting weight, it's not nice. And then the night of the fight, I think I only got 2 or 3 hours. Like, I was inside his room most of the night. That's my Thai coach, just because I couldn't sleep. Obviously, you're fighting in front of, you know how many million of people is going to be watching at home. So it is really hard to get to sleep. So when I walked in, I was still feeling pretty sound. Got to the venue, and I went for a piss. And when I had the piss, it was like I could see I was dehydrated. Do you know what I mean? And I just didn't feel myself. It's the first time like I've actually ever felt like that. And then even when I went in there, like, you know, you always say, regardless if anyone on social media and that, you know, if someone asks like, how you feel after the weight cut, you know your opponent's watching that, you're never going to say I feel fucked. You're always going to say I feel 100%. Do you know what I mean? Always going to say I feel 100%, even if you're not. But yeah, I didn't feel good, to be fair. But I went in and I thought I'll be Sam when I get in there. First little exchange, I had under the impression. I was under the impression that he wants to stand. You know, I spoke to him literally an hour before the fight, he was like, you know how I fight, I'll have a war and stuff. And so, like, going out, I started swinging, and then I think I got took down first, and that was sort of like a fucking, like, wow. And then I was still sound. I think at midway through the first round, I went for a guillotine or something like that.
Yeah, it was closer to the end of the round. He went for a takedown, I think, and you locked up the guillotine. And to be fair, it was pretty tight. But obviously, every time you go for a guillotine, you sort of give up position, don't you? So.
Yeah, well, that's it. I think anyone that knows me in Cage Warriors days or anything like that knows if I get that submission, it's gone. And literally, I had it. The technique was sound, everything was perfect, but I could hear him choking, and my arms and body just went vroom, Joe, completely stopped. And then after that, I literally, like, my coaches were all telling me the right things to do and everything, and my body just wasn't responding. It was it was surreal, really surreal. And you know, anybody that's ever seen me fight will know that wasn't me. You know, I'm really embarrassed in that performance. That should have been someone I should have took out quite easily, to be fair. But you live and learn, and it's not. You know, I can say I missed weight. You know, it was the weight cut, but ultimately that's down to me. My nutrition shouldn't have been better. So, you know, I've got to take that one on the chin and say, I will, like, that's the biggest thing I'm going to learn from it. You know, I need to do them extra things. You know what I mean? I can't be a fatty. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I could blame it on the weight cut all day, but yeah, ultimately, if you miss weight, that is down to you. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
I remember speaking to you before when you was in quarantine in London, I think it was, and you were saying there was a muffin and you were staring at it. I hope it wasn't that got you overweight.
Nah, Joe, what? Joe, what? To be fair, I probably would have missed by a bit more if I would have done. I thought in my head, I had all these stuff that they kept on giving us, Joe, in Abu Dhabi, and I thought, I'll save these for after me weighing. I'll save these till after me weighing. And then I weighed in and I went to get them, and they were all like fucking hard and stuff like that. So I just ended up throwing them in the bin. I probably left it too long.
Yeah, I see. I think they left the cake in most people's room with like a UFC cage and stuff, didn't they?
They'd left it in Molly's. They never left one in mine, though. I was fucking fuming about that. Yeah, but nah, you know what? Probably a good job as well, because I definitely would have missed weight by a lot more, yeah.
So obviously with the fight and like missing weight, is that your biggest takeaway and like learning experience from it, is to be more prepared with your weight cuts? And
yeah, definitely be more prepared with weight cuts. And you know, I've had a lot of stuff going on throughout my life, and like I think it's like I always say, I'm taking it 100%. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I think now it's time to actually give it 100%. You know what I mean? I've done it for so long, and I feel like I've never given myself a fair crack at the whip by fucking around. So, you know, that like I've never, in any of my losses, I've never, ever been outclassed. I've always been 50-50 or been winning and just got caught.
Yeah.
This was the first time I got outclassed, and it was an eye-opener, and it wasn't nice. It never felt nice. And, you know, I learned the hard way, and I really did learn the hard way, you know what I mean? So, go away and just literally do everything right now, not fuck around, do everything right. Hopefully the next fight I get, I need to run through them, and I need to finish them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you've seen fighters do it before, come off losses. You've seen like fighters fucking get cut and bounce back and stuff like that. You've seen how many fighters in the UFC have you seen that were sort of losing fights and then all of a sudden turned Masvidal for one. They'll just turn the career around. Then that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me.
Yeah,
like I said, I've just literally had bad luck. That's all I can say.
Yeah. For example, like your fight, I can't say his name, but Maka, what's his name?
Mahwan.
That you was the perfect fight for you, and then you just got caught again. It's like
exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Perfect example.
Yeah, even the Kata one was like 50-50. I reckon 50-50. If not, I was getting the better of him. And, you know, the same. Just got caught with a shot. MMA is a crazy sport, but I can't even say in that fight like, I was going well or anything. You know, standing it was going well, but you know, I just got smothered. He was the better man on the night, and you know, I've got to hold my hand up and say, so you won that. So obviously fair and square, and you know, I just need to make sure next time I fucking sort my nutrition out and do everything right, leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, definitely. So is it fair to say that you're looking to take like a little bit of time off to get your head right and everything, to get back into training properly and then get back in there, or?
Nah, like I'm back training properly now, but whether it's obviously ultimately it's up to me coach and me manager,
Yeah.
But I'd fight tomorrow if I could. You know what I mean? I've got a couple of stuff that's went on in my personal life that, you know, it's given me extra motivation to really train, really fight, and, you know, change my career around. I've got more motivation now than I've ever had throughout my career. So yeah, pretty much like this is it. I'm ready to make the changes. If I don't do it now, believe me, in this situation I'm in, I'm never going to do it. You know, this will be the changing points. You know, you'll only see me go from strength to strength now. And I'm pretty confident I won't lose another fight, and, you know, I will be a UFC champion.
Mm-hmm. So is there any like ideal opponent you would like to face coming back?
No, literally anybody. Hopefully somebody that's going to, like, oh, we lost to Jared, he should have won against, but he's just beat this guy. Do you know what I mean? Who's fucking amazing. Not anyone who's decent. I want to fight the best people I can, really. But I'm going to try and go back to being a little bit more elusive. Not knowing, like where I've said the past couple of fights, that I'm just going to strike with you, and I tell them that, you know, this time I'm going to go back to me grappling. You know, I'm a black belt on the ground, and that last fight, I looked like a white belt. Do you know what I mean? I literally had nothing left in me to move. So yeah, I think I need to redeem myself and go away and say, look what I can do on the ground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much where I'm at with it.
Like you say, though, with people that know your career and have watched you fight before, they can see when in that fight that you were deflated, and you could see that you weren't happy with your performance during the performance.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was fucking. You know, I think at one point I was lying on my back and I was fucking slapping him in the side of his head, saying, "Yo, get up and let's fight." Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just me saying, I'm fucked. You're going to lie on top of me for 3 rounds, yeah. So give me a crack. Give me a crack in it. But yeah, no, that's us. Like, you know, that's it.
So is that your plan then, to go back to training and then just like make sure your game's more of an all-round MMA game, rather than just saying, "Oh, I'm going to go in there and strike with you and let's throw down"?
Yeah, well, you know, I feel like my game is all-round anyway. If anyone ask anybody what I'm like, I'm a grappler. Do you know what I mean? That's what I come from. But I like to strike. Do you know what I mean? I am all-rounded when I want to be. Some of my best performances, like that I've had in the past, the Rosek fight, the Jacobson fight, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I've struck, took them down, went on the ground, got back up. I've done everything. Do you know what I mean? It's just getting back to that now. Instead of just going out and saying, I'm just going to do this. Because, you know, every time I've went out and I put my eggs in one basket, you know, when it doesn't work or something like that, you do end up getting caught. Whereas when I used to go out and just say, look, I'm just going to enjoy, I'm going to go for the takedown stuff, and if I can't get the takedown, I'll be happy to strike. That's a better game plan than going, I'm going to strike, and if I get put on my back, I'm going to try. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
And with
I'm actually in the gym now as we're speaking. I've just done a training session then, so I'm training like I'm not here sitting at home.
Yeah. So with the instinctual thing where you always go for a guillotine, is there anything that you're trying to do to like sort of get that out of your mind, sort of thing?
No, because you know what, it's worked so much for me in the past. Literally, I just need, like I said, it wasn't the technique on me guillotine. It was me nutrition. It was everything that went with it. It was my head. You know, you miss weight. That's a big thing on your head. I'm thinking to myself, shit, I'm gonna be fucked, and you know, you keep telling yourself that you are gonna be. And so, like, it's worked so well for me so many times. You know, I don't know. See what my coach thinks, because ultimately it's his choice. So, like, obviously, if he doesn't want me to do it, I won't do it in a fight. Well, I won't try and do it anyway. But yeah.
No, I agree with you. It's definitely one of your like special moves that you've got in your arsenal that is very dangerous. You know, and like when you had him there, he was very he was very stuck there, but he just managed to find a way out. It was just
Well, do you know what? I think it is just him as well. I think if I would have jumped to guard on Carter and stuff, and even if I would have got the clean chance on Mahwan, people like that I could have finished. But Jared had never been finished.
Mm-hmm.
He'd never been submitted. Do you know what I mean? He'd been knocked out, but he'd never been submitted.
Yeah, I know.
So,
some people seem to have just that extra little bit of not giving up in them when they're in a chokehold or.
Yeah, well, there was a lad. Who was it? I fought him on Cage Warriors when I was like, I think he was 9-0, and I fought him for my 10th professional fight. Called Olivier Pasteur from France, and he was like 25 and 22 or something like that, and he'd never been submitted. Do you know what I mean? And I had a rear naked choke in that fight under his chin and everything squeezing, and my arms burnt out. So what I mean? And then I won the first 2 rounds, and I think he punched me head in the last round because of that. You know, some people are just fucking tough, Joe. Yeah.
I know it's unreal sometimes. It's like, did you see the one recently with Justin James and Gavin Tucker?
No, I never. I'm not familiar.
They had a fight, and Justin James got Gavin Tucker in quite a good guillotine, and he had his body triangle and everything. But Gavin Tucker was just shaking, and he managed to get out. It was like really, really tight. It was quite impressive, to be honest.
Yeah. Hats got to go off for them people. You know, you've got to respect them. That you know, they've got that fight in them. It's very easy for most people to just say, "Fuck, I'm done." Do you know what I mean? But no, that fighting spirit, kill or be killed.
Yeah, it is. So I've seen on your Instagram as well, you started doing like one-to-one training sessions for personal training sort of thing. How's that going? Do you enjoy doing that?
I've done that for a while. Well, on and off, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I enjoy passing on the knowledge. You know, out of everybody in the UK and you know, a lot of people that have started fighting now and a lot of the pros, I've been fighting a lot longer than the majority of people that are still fighting now. You know, coming on, I've been training now for almost 15 years every day, and I've been a pro for the last 12 years or 11 years. So, you know, it's a long time. I'm the oldest student in this gym, not in age, but the oldest. You know, so a lot of the people that were fighting when I first started aren't fighting anymore, or they're retired, or you know. But I'm happy that I've managed to evolve with the sport, and I'm still one of the top. You know what I mean? I'm still going in. I can still fuck people. I can fuck all these young ones that are coming through now. But I do like passing on the knowledge I've picked up along the way. You know, I've trained in Thailand, I've trained in America, I've trained in Australia. I've done all of that. So it is nice to pass on the knowledge to anybody that wants to learn it. Basically, you know, teach from beginners who have never taught to kids to pro fighters. So it's good. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's good.
Plus, I guess you know, it's the way I teach. I'm hands on. You know, like then I've just been wrestling and, you know, sparring, and it's although like. So if a pro comes in all day, I'm getting something out of it, and even if it's a beginner, you know, you're still moving around and stuff. It's still burning calories, and you know, it's good for their confidence as well.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's like it's good for when like you like basically going back to basics and showing someone the basics. It sort of keeps it fresh in your mind as well. That is how you've got to do it, so you don't sort of stray away from doing it the right way. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Well, it's you're seeing, you know, apart from the odd occasion, most of the stuff that wins fights, especially in the UFC, which is obviously the cream of the crop, it's the Premiership. It's the basics. You know what I mean? It's the basics that work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got for you, mate.
Spot on. I just want to thank obviously my team, Next Generation, my coaches. Ellis Hampson, Cy Audley, Paul Rimmer, my sponsors, Macro Chef, Right Flank and Scramble, and you'll see. I need all the fans. You'll see me come back stronger, and I just apologise for my last performance. I'm going to do everything right this time, and you'll see the old me come back. My next fight, only onwards and upwards from here.
Sorry, say again.
Only onwards and upwards from here.
Yes, of course, mate. Of course. I just got to give a quick shout out to one of my sponsors as well, is Easy Cut. They're basically a new app where they're launching in October, and basically what it is they've got an app where you can track basically your calories, your weight loss, your hydration, everything down what you do from weight loss. And basically you can import the information to compare it to last time, make adjustments to your weight cuts, this sort of thing. Track everything basically. It's a really, really good app.
Nice. You need to send that over to me when it's launched, and I'll check that out. Really,
definitely, I will, mate.